Welcome to MF Fanatic, and this is the last minute prediction video of UFC 316. UFC 316 Merab Dvalishvili vs O Malley 2 is about to go on in a few hours, and this is the final prediction of the very fight. We'll be focusing only on just main card because let's be honest, the rest of the card is pretty shit. Nobody really cares about our fights. Nobody really even cares about this fight, but this is the main event we got. So I gotta break it down in my honest opinion, and I'm gonna tell you who's gonna win and the way of style they're gonna win, what are their key to victories, and how they are going to secure victories. So let's just dive into it. So first of all, we'll go down and just start with the main card. The very first fight in the welterweight bout, Vincente Luque versus Kevin Holland, two veteran. In this very fight, I'm surprised that Luque is underdog, whereas the Holland is the one chosen favorite, which is a bit crazy for me. Not that too much, but it is because Luque right now seems to be on a run. He has showed that he made a comeback. He's still got that grit, still got the same striking and grappling. He finished his last opponent. Still young. I might be crazy. I like Vincente Luque. I'm over the idea of Kevin Holland being one of the best fighters. Not the best, sorry, I said it, the exciting fighters. I don't really think he is. He just focused on his shenanigans about 45 70 or whatnot. So, yeah, my prediction, I'm choosing Vicente Luque. Yeah, it seems crazy, I know, but I like Luque. What you gonna do? I fucking like Luque. Now, if you look at the paper, if you look at the stats, one can clearly see that Holland, why he's choosing the favorite. He's 6'3", Luke is only 5'11". He's got 6 reach advantage in reach. Crazy advantage if you think, but great Holland could have been. But let's just come back to our topic, man. I think Luke is going to win. He seems like he's back on track. It looks like he's gonna make a big comeback. I think this fight he will prove that he still belongs. And Luke is going to win. Decision, not finish. I think this fight will go down to the judges and Vincent will secure the victory. So yeah, next up we got probably the most exciting fight here. Now this is Mario Bautista and I'm using the word exciting, but yeah, hear me out. I'm not using the word for Bautista. Obviously, I'm using it because of Patchy Mix, ladies and gentlemen. Now those of you who don't know, Patchy Mix is he's a former Bellator champion. He's got a crazy resume. He beat Sergio Pettis. He beat Patricio Pitbull. He had crazy performance against Nurmagomedov. He beat like two Russians. He's a known name and he's a finisher. He finishes people. His record 20 wins, 1 loss. He's making his debut against the fucking traitor, the disgrace, Mario Bautista. Now, you know why I hate Mario Bautista? You just gotta look up his fight with Jose Aldo and you will know exactly why I hate him. Both of the fighters are from the United States. Patchy is 5'8", which is crazy. I really thought he was gonna be like 5'11". He has got that face. He looks kinda tall, but he isn't. This fight is going down in 150, which means this will be a featherweight bout. I don't think these guys are featherweight. But anyway, now reach is about the same, but let's talk about the real stuff over here. Patchy is young. Patchy is on the rise. Patchy is dangerous. Patchy got a better resume. Mario is a great fighter, but his performance against Jose Aldo showed me that he really can't handle real strikers, and Patchy is a killer striker. Patchy should win. Patchy should win by literally destroying Mario Bautista for what he did, and Patchy should really do the MMA world the justice we deserve. So I'm going for Patchy Mix based on his resume, based on his skills, and based on MMA math. He should win this fight. He would win this fight. He will win this fight, and Mario would lose. No disrespect to Mario, but I just don't see him doing anyone great. Whereas with Patchy, he looks like the future. He is the future. He should win. So my pick, Patchy Mix. Next up, we got Kelvin Gaston versus Joe Pyfer. Now, before we talk about Joe Pyfer, I'm gonna talk about Calvin Gastelum because I think this need to be said. Calvin Gastelum, I reckon, could have been the middleweight champion of the UFC if he wasn't that stupid. Now, why do I think that? You can just go watch the fight with Israel Adesanya. That was the fight that made Israel Adesanya. That was the fight where I think Calvin was just never the same. He then lost to Whittaker. He came down to welterweight, lost to fucking Sean Brady. He got outclassed in majority of his fight. He's already in his mid 30s. Calvin has been promising us that he's going to lose some weight because every time I saw Calvin, it looked like he was going to lose some weight. Like he always showed he's on a diet. He had some abs, only for him to show up with even more belly fat, which is fucking disgusting, I must say. I mean, why the fuck are you kind of indicating you're gonna lose weight only to be more fat? This might be crazy take, but I think the only reason he didn't become a champion because he was fat. I think his cardio is really messed up. He gets tired. His performance isn't very like he doesn't look very elusive sometimes. And I think part of the reason is because he's fat. He's fat. Now I'm not fat shaming him, but this is a professional sport. You have to maintain your health. Now we have some obviously exceptions like Daniel Cormier, but let's be honest, Calvin isn't Daniel Cormier and he's never going to be. So now that I've derailed and completely roasted Calvin Gastelum like a taco, now let's just move on the fight. My pick is Joe Pfeiffer. Now, Pfeiffer isn't anything special. Pfeiffer is American, and one thing that I've learned about American is that being an American is the worst place for being a MMA fighter. Hot take, but just look around the resumes of MMA fighters. Look around contemporary times on MMA fighters. Look how many American fighters are you going to point out that you say is going to be the champion. Exception being Sean O'Malley, there aren't any exciting fighters left. There isn't any American fighter that you're gonna see and be him. He's gonna be a champion one day, Listen, Brazil has a collection of fighters. We got fighting nerds. Dagestan is pushing new fighters. Australia might. Australia got the best fighters, new fighters coming out. Argentina is posing for fighters. England has got fighters. But Americans seems like they have lost it. Poirier was their solid chance and they lost it. Max Holloway is already 32. He has taken a lot of damage. He will most likely not become champion, and if he does, he already is an old veteran. There aren't any new guys. Pfeiffer isn't anything special, but he's got that one punch KO. So based on that, I think Pfeiffer is going to win. So not because of KO, but I think he's gonna tag Calvin Gastelum. Although Calvin is a bit tricky matchup for Pfeiffer, but I think Calvin is already past his prime by now. He's already war torn. He has had many battles, whereas Pfeiffer is still fresh, less experienced but fresh in this fight. He's got a one punch KO. He can TKO him. I'm going Pfeiffer by late round TKO or decision. All right, now the co-main event, Women's Bantamweight Championship. Juliana Pena, she's mad annoying. She said that JDM didn't really want the fight, yet Bilal was robbed. Now I think that alone should be the reason why I think women fighting should be banned. But I'm not a radical. This is MMA. We all there for fun, but that was such a shitty take. But I'm letting it slide. I'm letting it slide because of one reason, because Julian is hot. She's mad annoying, but she is hot. Call me crazy, call me whatever you want. She is a bit hot. If you look at women MMA division, majority of the fighters look like men. I mean, look at her opponent. No disrespect, but she kind of looks like a man. And I can't prove it to you, but she looks like she has taken a lot of, like, you know, TRT, some steroids. No woman should look like that. No, I know that seems crazy, but just look at her shoulder. Just Google Kayla Harrison, and look at her shoulders. Look at her biceps, mate. Like, you won't see those biceps on a guy who has been training for 3 years in a gym. That's fucking crazy, dude. No, anyway, as for the fight, Julian, as hot she is, she's a thick mommy, but she's not gonna win. Kayla Harrison is going to fucking destroy this woman. Kayla Harrison, the man, the Triple H, Kings of King, is going to pedigree, pile driver, fucking Batista bomb, destroy Juliana Pena. Destroy. Kayla Harrison got a solid chance. She has solid grappling. She got real punching power. And let me tell you something about not Kayla Harrison, but women fighting in general. I don't care how tactical you are. I don't care how strong you are. When it comes to MMA women's fighting, specifically women's fighting, only women fighting, if you are somebody who's strong, a strong woman, you are going to win. That's it. That's the fact. I mean, just look around the past 8 years in women fighting. How many MMA women fighting do you know that weren't like extremely strong for a woman? Hmm? Amanda Nunes, Chris Cyborg. Today there's got Chinese champion Shaving. She's crazy strong. Valentina Shevchenko is pretty strong for a woman. Majority of women are pretty weak. And you know what else they are weak at? Footwork. Nobody has a great footwork in women's MMA division. That's what I've been seeing. Most of part of the reason why MMA women's champions are boring. It's not because they don't really fight. It's because they got shitty footwork. They just don't know how to enter a fight, how to like break the space, how to go for a takedown. Like they fight like crazy, like a amateur would sometimes at a world stage. How crazy is that, huh? And we got this as a co-main event, but this fight is still exciting compared to the rest of the others. I'm going for Kayla Harrison, TKO, or maybe decision because Juliana is pretty strong. She's got a tough chin, but I think this should be clear victory for Kayla Harrison. And if it isn't, that means women MMA division is pretty fucking shit. So Kayla Harrison W. Sorry, Juliana, I think you're gonna lose. Now let's go for the main fight. Merab Dvalishvili versus Sean O'Malley. This is the main event. This is the real main event in this fight. Only exciting fight other than Patchy Mix versus Mari Budista. My prediction, well, fuck it, Merab Dvalishvili. And no, I'm not just going for Merab Dvalishvili. I want him to win. And I can't go in detail why. All I would say is that Sean O'Malley, there's no difference between him and Ian Machado Gary. We all hate Ian Gary, right? I don't know why do we have the same energy for Sean O'Malley when he does the pretty stuff. His coach is cringe, right? He does cringe as shit. He paints his hair like, I don't want to say it, but I mean his voice annoying. He is annoying. Pretty great striker, exciting fighter, but personality wise he's shit. Whereas Merab, as boring as he looks in some of the fights, he defeated and demolished Umar Nurmagomedov. And I can't thank him enough for that. I just can't. Him beating Umar Nurmagomedov was the best fucking thing that happened this year. That was the best fucking thing. And I just can't thank him for it. And Merab is from Georgia. I love Georgian fighters. I love Ilya Topuria. He's my favorite fighter. He's Georgian. Alexander Topuria, Arman Surikin, I believe, has some Georgian roots. Roman Dolidze, although he's not that very exciting, but still Georgian. I love Georgian. Merab, I like Georgian fighters. Georgia has produced some of the most unbeatable, most dangerous fighters of all time. And the population in Georgia is just 3.3 million. Right now, there are two potential MMA champions from Georgia. Ilya is going to win. Taking that in consideration, there are two MMA Georgian champions and there are 0 American champions. Just let that sink in. Now, as for the record, Merab has got 19 fight wins, with only 4 losses. Sean O'Malley has a pretty good record, 18 wins, 2 losses. One of them coming from Merab Dvalishvili in the previous fight where he got totally destroyed in a 5-round fight. No. Everybody knows Merab is going to win. I mean, the chances are very high because when you get destroyed and demolished in a 5-round fight and show nothing. People don't really come back from that. And this fight is being forced on us because Dana White is trying to like star power this guy, Sean O'Malley, which proves my and everybody's point that O'Malley might be industry plant. I think he's an industry plant. We have been forced this fight when we know O'Malley doesn't deserve this title shot. This should have been Peter Yan or somebody else or anybody, but I don't see a point having O'Malley given directly title shot. But this is UFC, this is what UFC does nowadays. So fuck it. My pick is Merab based on aura, and I want him to win. And if let's just say O'Malley can win, only way I see him winning is by beating Merab in first 2 rounds. If he's able to implement his game in first 2 rounds, he might win. As for Merab will do what he does, implement his wrestling takedowns, those mean hooks, those leg kicks, and Russell fuck. That's what he's going to do to O'Malley again. And I have a crazy take about this fight. I think there's a very less chance about this, but I still think Merab might be able to finish O'Malley this time. There's a very less chance of that happening, but I think people are too focused on just Merab winning this fight by decision, and they're forgetting that Merab has some punching power as well. He cracked Umar Nurmagomedov. He cracked Henry Cejudo with a vicious hook. He tagged Henry Cejudo multiple times, and I think he's gonna take down O'Malley. O'Malley might think like, yeah, he's like Merab is not very known for finishing people when he takes them down, and I think this is where this is a chance where he can show everybody that he can. While O'Malley will be busy defending takedowns and just breaking wrist lock, Merab can go for ground and pound and just grab his neck and rear neck choke. That's a crazy like chances of that happening is very rare, but it could happen. I mean, like Merab knows, I know, everybody knows that he can take down O'Malley and he can hold him there and he can attempt like 70 takedowns, 100 takedowns, and then Russell fuck the shit out of him and win the fight. So he might risk like try to finish him. So there's a possibility that Merab might win via TKO, very less, but there's some percentage that might happen. Well, my main prediction remains as solid as it is that Merab will win via decision, 5-round war, and O'Malley chapter will be closed forever, and then Corey Sandhagen will most likely fight Merab, and we'll have a new competition, or maybe Peter Yan versus O'Malley might happen. Now, if O'Malley wins, I'm okay with that as well. That's not a bad idea. We can get O'Malley versus Yan in a 5-round fight, which is also an insane fight. But yeah, all in all, that was it. Let's just have a recap. So Merab Division 5 win again. As for Juliana Pina versus Kayla Harrison, I got Kayla the Man Harrison TKO 3rd round. Calvin Gastelum versus Pfeiffer, I got Pfeiffer by decision or either TKO. I will go for Pfeiffer for decision. Mario versus Patchy mix, I think Patchy via domination. Vincente Luque versus Kevin Holland. Vincente Luque, sorry, by decision. So Luque, Patchy mix, Pfeiffer, Kayla Harrison, and Merab. These are my predictions for the main card of UFC 316. Like, share, and subscribe if you love this channel, and I'll see you again tomorrow. Goodbye.